Well, hello and welcome back to the most innovative metaphysical reading on the internet, the Tao Manifested Tarot Podcast. Thank you very much for being here. I know you cannot buy, no matter how rich you are, you can't buy more time in your life. So you're coming here to listen, to pay attention, to gather in some information, hopefully even a little bit of wisdom, is an investment from you. Thank you. I will do my best. I always do to dig in and really give you the best metaphysical reading. Now, I know we say tarot, tarot is the destination, right? Tarot is the high point in the interview because I've done tarot for over 20 years, and in that time, I've discovered tarot, at least from my point of view, doesn't predict a damn thing. It's chop suey. However, what I have discovered is that tarot is the science of potential, your ability to develop your human kryptonite. And what is that? Manifesting. Yeah, manifesting. The matrix revealed your human kryptonite. Now, we all know how to manifest very early on in our life. But we really need a certain amount of brain development for it to really operate. So you got to be 3, 4, maybe 5 years old. But at that point, you begin to, even subconsciously, tap into your manifesting ability. The problem is that as we go through life, from kindergarten, let's say, through college, PhD, that kryptonite is taken away from us. And they've done tests, several tests, to show that a 5-year-old is far more creative than a PhD. Because a PhD is not here to be creative, it's here to memorize and then vomit the information that they've heard with little or no thought. And I'm sure you've run into the same people. More education, the dumber they are. But as a 5-year-old, that hasn't been messed with yet. Although, given what they're doing to babies, newborns with vaccines and the poisons in their food and all that stuff, who knows? The early evidence is not encouraging. But that aside, you have the ability to manifest. But over the years, let's say from kindergarten to college, you're beaten down. You're controlled. They don't want you to think. John D. Rockefeller said, I want a nation of workers. I don't want a nation of thinkers. And they don't need the workers anymore because they got the robots. So you know where that's going. Nevertheless, we'll push that aside as well. The point is that your ability to manifest gets turned inward so that you're negative. So most people who manifest these days go, well, they say the words, but what they're feeling, the important part, what they're feeling is I can't. I can't. Yeah, I'd like a new car. Yeah, I'd like a better job, but I can't do it. I can't do it. So you don't get anything of value and you go, see, I can't manifest. No, you're manifesting, but in a negative way. So I want to kind of flip the script here around a little bit. Again, tarot is the science of potential. Literally, your ultimate destination in this reading and in your life via that tarot frequency. So I take 3 cards, no more. There's some magic in 3. Nikola Tesla made it very clear. If you understand the power of 3, you understand the universe. And we use 3 for so many different things in our life that even subconsciously we know that 3 has some sort of a positive frequency to it. So the tarot is your destination. Okay. To get to your destination, you need a map. That's where I use the science of cycles, cycles of time. And that, numerology, astrology. I've done numerology and astrology for 50 years. That's 50. Tarot for 20 years. So I've been in this game a little bit. I kind of figured my way through. So numerology and astrology is the science of cycles. And how do I know? Because people have been telling me all of my life, history repeats. We never learn the lesson. History repeats. Why does the history repeat? Because just like tarot, numerology and astrology, at their heart, at their core, are frequencies. And so these frequencies periodically repeat. Sometimes they're very quiet, like lunar cycles. We got the big super moon coming up. In fact, we're in it right now. Closest the moon is going to be to Earth all year, right now. So we knew that that was happening a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, 3 years ago. Was that satanic? Is that mysterious? No, it's knowing a cycle. It's happened before. It's going to happen again, and we can predict with pure, purely good or purely accurate, accuracy. Kind of stumbled through that sentence, but you get the idea. We can calculate when it's going to happen next. Well, the same thing is with the movements of the planets: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. Now they're all different timelines, which is what makes it kind of tricky but interesting. So when you get certain combinations of planets together, and I'm looking primarily at Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. I don't care about the other signs. Those are more timing situation. Uh, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, especially, are generational. Saturn has some influences. Jupiter, okay, fine, just a quick hit 1 year and then moves on to the next sign. Helpful, but really not that big of a motivator thing. Anyway, so we can predict. We've been through it enough. We can go, okay, this is what happened last time these planets were together. They're here now. We can expect the same kind of energy. Not the same kind of situations necessarily, but the same kind of energy. Quick example: Uranus and Pluto were in a particular position in the sky when we signed our Declaration of Independence 1776. 2 years ago, they hit that same position. Here in the United States, Declaration of Independence, freedom, no taxation without representation. Sound familiar? Yeah, but it's the 2025 version, but the same energy. Civil War, Neptune was beginning a cycle. It's hit now. Civil War. Is America, the world, in a civil war? Yeah. Same energy, but different. That's why it's important to have these pieces of information, because we can get an idea of what's coming ahead, what we're seeing. Very, very important. In fact, 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. There was a particular planetary configuration. Actually, Pluto was part of it. Pluto takes quite some time, and Neptune was part of it. Put those two together where they're in the same place again. It takes 500 years. Okay, 1492, move up 500 years, it's 1992. What happened in 1992? George H.W. Bush, a crook if I've ever seen one before, declares the New World Order. Well, in 1492, we were going to the New World. 1992, New World Order. You see the connection? Okay, good. Because I want you to use all of these energies. Knowing the repetitive patterns can teach us what to expect, so it doesn't throw. If people have gone through this before and survived, what are we, chop suey? We can make it. We just got to hold ourselves together. Going to be tough, but in tough times, that's when growth happens. When it's easy, why grow, man? It's cool. Everything is fine. Be good. You got problems, you're backed up against the wall, you got to do something. And that's where we are right now. So we know these repetitive patterns. So in this tarot reading, not only do you know your potential destination, which is the tarot, but you get an opportunity to know what the energy is like. And that helps use your tarot potential more successfully. You're not guessing, you're not figuring it out. You see exactly what it is. And that's the point. So that's where we are. Today's message, the Tao Manifesting Tarot message, is when no is your best bet. We don't want to like to be told no. And yet, maybe it's really a blessing in disguise. We'll tear into that, but I first want to remind you that I do have an email, tao-tarot at proton.me, tao-tarot at proton.me. Simple as that. You don't have to be nice. You don't have to be polite. You don't have to be friendly. It would be nice if you were, but it's communication. That's the key. And I check it out every day, every other day. Tao-tarot at proton.me. So I mentioned the science of cycles, astrology, numerology. Let's get to the astrology, astrologic. Today, this astrologic portion is called surprise ending, when no is really yes. Like I said just a moment ago, we are in the second and final day of this supermoon, the closest the moon will be to our planet all year. Life is strange. I believe that we are really controlled by fate. We do have, from the moment of birth, some sort of an imprint somewhere energetically that says this is going to be your life path. And where we run into trouble is when we get off that life path. Geez, everybody's got to be rich. Everybody's got to be good looking. Everybody's got to be famous. Everybody's got to be this. Everybody. It's not that way. And if you do astrology, it can never be that way. 12 houses, 12 signs, all mixed up, constantly moving, and things, angles, and all kinds of things in between. You're never going to stop evil. And at the same token, you're never going to stop good. It's important for good to stop evil. That's a different story. But there's going to be a mix of people, the crazy crap that we're going through today. I think it always existed. You always had the bizarros. They weren't just as obvious. But now with technology, if nothing else, we're seeing all the weirdos come out of the woodwork. It's upsetting. They've been there all along. We just didn't see them. So that's what gives us the opportunity to see if we can't make it better. Not get rid of these people, but to help these people, to fix these people. I believe that a lot of how we act as a human being has to do with our hormones. You take a look at what women go through during their cycle. Well, men also have cycles as well. And if indeed we are getting poisoned by the food, the air, the water around us, they're messing with our endocrine system, our hormone system, and so you're going to get bizarre crap coming out. On top of the fact that society is sort of a shithole anyway, and parents aren't taking any responsibility. Adults certainly are not taking their responsibility. So there are a lot of things that have to change. So it would appear that fate has said no to us. No to us about what? Well, I don't know. Maybe know that you cannot be irresponsible anymore. We're not going to tolerate it. But even in your life, how many times have you got involved with somebody, got involved in some sort of an enterprise of one kind or another, and lived to regret it? You went, holy shit, what was I thinking? No, you weren't. On top of which, things are being tossed at us all the time and then taken away, and we get mad. And we become 2-year-olds. I can't be, I can't. That's life. People who do astrology know that. They say things come and go. Cycles come and go. And yet, through all of it, you're still here. You have some bruises, some cuts, broken bones. Yeah, of course. That's life. So sometimes you get that surprise ending when the no actually turns out to be a yes. When they kept you from something and you look back and went, oh, man, I'm glad I didn't get involved with them. Woo! That has happened to me many times in my life, business, personal. Oh, God, I want it. Oh, God, I want it. Oh, God, I want it. I didn't get it. And you'd be heartbroken for a while. But then a year, 2, 3, 5 years down the road, you look at it and go, holy crap, did I avoid a shithole? You didn't know it at the time, but it turned out okay. We're in one of those times now. In fact, it reminds me of the Chinese parable. This woman comes to this Shaolin priest crying, upset that her son has been damaged. He's lost an arm or a leg or something serious. And she says, oh my God, my life is over. My son's life is over. Everything stinks. It sucks. It's terrible. And the Shaolin priest says, story's not done yet. Wait till it finishes and make that determination. Turns out, a few years down the road, major war breaks out. Her son would have been brought into the army, probably likely died. But because he had no arm or no leg or whatever the hell it was, they didn't even think about him. He went on to live. Yeah, handicapped, but he lived. So was it a bad story or a good story? That's what I'm saying we're going through right now. Easy to say it's all lost. But fate has destiny for us. It's cosmic grace. I know churches and religious people are going to go, well, no, man, you got independent. No, you don't have any independent. John Lennon said it best: life is what happens while you're busy doing other things. Our ability to choose is once we confront the situation. Okay, it's in my life. What am I going to do? Stand up or sit down or lay down? What am I going to do? That's your free will. So sometimes there is a surprise ending. Sometimes no actually means yes. Supermoon is a good time to contemplate that. Please do. Let's go over to the meme for the day. There's a lot of information here. I love the one up in the right. Planet doesn't have a CO2 problem. The planet has a psychopathic, genocidal oligarchy problem. Absolutely. Climate change stuff is something that goes on. Climate change is generally something we don't have any control of. It's like fate. But the psychopathic assholes who run the planet, they are purposely poisoning the water, poisoning the food, poisoning the air, poisoning our lives. They're doing that purposely. It's not natural. Start waking up. And at the bottom, we got a little Peanuts comedy there. No one is going to give you the education you need to overthrow them. In other words, they are educating us. That's one of the things, as I said, John D. Rockefeller said many times. I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of doers. I want people who work. Of course, we got robots, so people people are even less important because the robots will take over the work. They promise or threaten. And then on the left side, it's a longer piece, but it's from RFK talking about the medical cartel that runs America. It's really interesting. Check it out. A little bit of extra information for you. The missing link for today, speaking about our health, doctors won't make you healthy. Nutritionists won't make you slim. Teachers won't make you smart. Gurus won't make you calm. Mentors won't make you rich. Trainers won't make you fit. At some point, you have to understand that life is 100% your responsibility. Well, in large part, yes. We got that fate, but it's how we address the fate. That's what really makes the difference. That's what makes the imprint. Let's go to the tarot reading for today. We got the Three of Swords, a sad, sad card. Conflicts, arguments, broken heart. But again, it may be that no that actually says yes. It's teaching you a lesson. What we're going through right now gives you the ability to wake up and take responsibility for your life. The one thing that every adult is afraid of, taking responsibility for my life. What? Huh? Yeah, taking responsibility for your life. In the process, a lot of conflicts and arguments, but it's an opportunity. Yeah, Three Swords, it's painful, but it's an opportunity. Next one up is the Queen of Swords. Straight talking, no bullshit. And we're talking about talking to yourself. So many people know the truth. You can tell by looking at them, but they refuse. And they stick in their own demented way. Just because I'm going to show you. Okay. Okay. Fate has brought you here. You're going to fight fate. Good luck with that one. And the final card is the Queen of Pentacles. Kings make the proclamations, queens get the work done. Pentacles are our value system. Our value system right now is bigger homes, more cars, more shoes, more this, more that, more that. Rather, how about friendship, joy, happiness, love? How about peace in your life? Would peace be nice? Peaceful life? And of course, there's always time. I don't care how much money you have, you can't buy more time. I don't give a damn if you're Jeff Bezos. I don't give a damn if you're the Rothschilds. You cannot buy more time. It's fate. It's how we react that counts. And we are reminded about that by the Queen of Pentacles. Make sure your value system is real. The kind of life that you have right now, would you change it for a peaceful, safe, quiet life, growing your own food, being independent, having your own little home, being independent, being able to support yourself without any help from anybody else? You got your water, you got your power. No, it may not be the highest electricity kind of thing. But you have a few candles. You can see, you can get around. You got plenty of healthy food. You got peace. Nobody messing with you. Doesn't sound so bad, does it? Huh? I think the Amish have it right. Anyway, that's it for this time around. Thank you very much. I realize, as I said in the beginning, your coming here is an investment in your time, something that's very precious. I thank you for it. Please like and subscribe. Very important. There is nasty, nasty stuff going on quietly behind the scenes here on the internet. It affects every podcaster. Most of the podcasts are garbage. 80% of what you see on the internet is bullshit, waste of time, moronic. But for that other 20%, myself included, please like and subscribe. Between now and the next time you and I get together to do Manifesting Tarot, peace and blessings.